Welcome back to the LTA. It's the last day of Best of 3 competition here at the Riot Games Arena. And we're heading to playoffs and non-stop Best of 5 League of Legends action next week. Later today, there's only one playoff spot left, and 100 Thieves want to stop their slide down the standings before they miss out on it. The underdogs of Disguised are hungry, though, and it's their last chance to prove themselves this split. But first, Team Liquid and Shopify go head-to-head. Team Liquid has Yuuji signed to the roster, and Coach Spawn is back in person with the team. Can they lock the win here, or will Shopify conquer their demons and lock in to secure the upset heading into next week's bracket? All those questions and more coming your way right now. I'm Captain Flowers, joined by Kobe, here for this first one with Team Liquid, bringing in the new guy and the old guy for the stage.
The combo, the Wombo combo, bringing back Spawn from overseas. He's got his belt out on stage, ready to go. And they've got Yuuji in. And Yuuji is such a cool story because they have been scrimming with him as kind of a 6-man on the roster. Umpty even had given an interview where he kind of liked the motivation at one point, and it allowed them to solve some of the issues that they had and try and figure out which ones were communication issues, which ones were in-game issues, and basically separate some of the confounding factors and take a little bit more scientific approach to some of the issues that they have had. But we'll see how it looks on stage because this will be Yuuji's first performance up here with the big audience. And against Shopify, who have started to go on a bit of a roll, my friend. Fudge is playing a lot better. Big improvements from him. Contractz is stealing Barons. So let's get right into the draft.
Okay, checking it out. We've got the first part of the bans all taken care of. Yeon, Nefiri, Ezreal banned out by Team Liquid. Shopify, first 2 bans focusing on Yeon there in the AD carry role. Kalista and Varus, a couple of his power picks, going to remove those. Alongside the Vi that just remains so ever-present, so popular as just a kind of all-round jungle pick.
Yeah, definitely. It is worth focusing on Yeon, by the way. Yeon is still the big carry for this team. We, during the success of the team, gave a lot of focus there, but even in their struggles, has been a huge point for them. All right, so the first pick, though, are going to take away the Taliyah. Definitely has been something that Palafox has tried to play a lot more recently, and we'll see. It is certainly one of APA's champions that do rank very highly just as an individual, so see what Palafox wants to play into it. I guess its immediate answer is right into the Ahri, and that with a Xin Zhao means you need to have some really good early skirmishes. That mid jungle is already very strong.
Right, they love those smaller 2v2, 3v3 fights early on with that combo. Over on the other side, I feel like Taliyah is just... You pretty much see her in the first game of Fearless every single time. She's just super popular as one of those go-to mid-lane mages. But I'm really curious here what Team Liquid specifically is going to have Yuuji play for his first LTA appearance. That Pantheon, we know that it could go to CoreJJ, but we're seeing it a lot more in the jungle these days.
And especially if you do have a Taliyah as your mid laner already, because the point and click is the perfect setup for the seismic shoves. You know, the Vi Taliyah combo is the most well-known. Pantheon Taliyah is like number 2 right behind it. Point and click, and it even comes before level 6. So lots of early skirmishing. We definitely expect already from these drafts for mid jungles to play a prominent role. Interesting here, though, we have a big divergence. Rumble, way more for team fighting. Ryze, way more for split pushing. So in our third picks for both of these two teams, a divergence in strategies emerges.
Yeah, we've got both solo laners locked in for both squads, both junglers locked in, and both teams have the setup of the double AP solo lanes plus the physical damage jungler. With junglers like Pantheon and Zhao, I feel like you could have some pretty explosive solo lane opportunities in this one.
Definitely agree. I mean, I expect this first game already just to be a banger because, like you're saying, this team has Taliyah and Pantheon, so there are globals here. There's a lot of movement there. The other team has a Ryze, which has Realm Warp and is very good at split pushing. So we expect there to be spread map and lots of spread map plays in this game already. Let's get down to the bottom lane, though, and really figure this out because Senna got one of the changes where this might be one of the funniest changes to champions over the course of the history of the champion, where Senna's soul generation rate for minions that she kills is something that they have gone back and forth on probably like 8 times.
It's a lot of times.
9 times.
Yeah.
Where they decide, okay, Senna's going to be an AD carry now, so we're going to pump up the soul generation on minions that you actually last hit and kill. And then they do the opposite the next time around. They want her back on support, so they put it back down. Currently, she is in an AD carry era, and so they do ban that out. It's kind of interesting because has been seeing some popularity in solo queues, so never know what's been going on in scrims there. Regardless, though, on the other side, the extra couple bans towards support here, a lot of those play-making supports with the Nautilus and the Nico.
Whenever you ban Nico, I know you don't want to count that game. Nobody likes to have to count those minions every single time. Make sure there's not a 7th one sneaking in there. The Nautilus, a reliable engage band away. Braum, the final ban of the draft here for TL, and we'll see how Shopify want to go with this one. Alistar has been a pretty popular pick recently, and they'll lock that one in for Seos. I really like this, especially with Contractz being on a jungler that wants to skirmish like you were talking about with the Zhao. Having one of these CC roam buddy supports always feels good.
Yeah, definitely. Alistar right now is just does so many things so well in the game. Since there are so many team fights centered around all these objectives, really, really good primary engage support, really good peeling as well. And Seos has played that role exceptionally ever since he was added onto Shopify. Moves around with especially Contractz a lot, super actively, so the extra Alistar CC is going to go a long way with jungle as well as with the rest of the team fights. But Poppy is a really good answer into Jhin and Ahri and Alistar. Very high value CoreJJ Poppy here for the steadfast presence.
And we've also got Yeon bringing in the Jhin, so if Taliyah and Pantheon both dive in for a fight to collapse somewhere, Yeon can back them up with the curtain call. I know one of the fans in the audience had a sign that said pick Jhin, and already the sign has been fulfilled here in game number 1 by Team Liquid and Yeon on that pick. All that's left now is for Shopify to lock in Bvoy's carry, and they're going with the Kai'Sa.
Dude, this game is going to be exciting no matter what, because the map is going to be spread, and there will be picks everywhere from both teams.
Yep.
There is so much damage and long range mobility as well as kill opportunities in this game. This definitely should be a fun one. Either team, that means, that gets an early lead, I feel like will have a very good chance at snowballing this game. So you have to be very, very careful about some of the early kills that do go over. Both these sides could be extremely snowbally.
And I want to go back to what you were talking about when we saw the top laners get locked in, how Rumble loves to team fight, but Ryze loves to split push. I'm very curious how the cat and mouse game of split pushing is going to go this game. Because yeah, Ryze loves to split push. You know who likes to gang up and beat up split pushers? Pantheon. Taliyah, they're happy to turn a 1v1 into a 3v1, and that kind of back and forth of, can the Ryze find the right positioning and the right timings to push, or is he just going to be a loop pinata for the globals of the other side? That's one of the main stories I'm looking at in this one.
Everybody's looking for picks. Let's get into it. Should be a super exciting one here. Crowd is pumped. Team Liquid and Shopify back on the Rift.
Both of these teams have already secured their spots for the playoffs. They know that they will not be getting eliminated this weekend, but you want to be looking good. You want to go into the best of 5 phase, feeling strong, feeling like one of the teams to beat. Shopify, I think, already surprising a ton of fans by being in this guaranteed playoff spot to begin with, beating out 100 Thieves for one of the top 2 spots in their group.
That is a very good point, Flowers. And you know, one big reason that actually got them over the edge to be in this position for Shopify Rebellion,
what is that?
Has actually been Ludwig co-streaming. They have a crazy win rate when he has been co-streaming, and not as good as the win rate when he has not been co-streaming.
Okay, so it's 100% versus 17%. That's quite a difference.
There is quite a difference. I heard that he was going to co-stream today, so we'll see if that 100% can keep on going for Shopify. Of course, there have also been some other smaller factors, like Fudge playing a lot better, Contractz being an absolute beast for them in the jungle. But right into some early action, CoreJJ tries to use his sweeper, and Seos almost gets the timing there to defend, but headbutt not enough to defend his ward, and CoreJJ wins the support battle.
CoreJJ now with the biggest gold lead in the game, the biggest farm lead in the game.
What a beast.
On the support Poppy, just 1.5 minutes into the game, and now he's stopping Contractz' first buff. We're joking around,
what a menace.
But CoreJJ is a menace at level 1 on this Poppy. Now Seos is coming in to stop him. Core is just on a Tour de Rift. What is happening? Where is he going? Contractz is going back to the Wolves now.
Flowers, if Contractz is the engine for Shopify, as the analyst desk said, then CoreJJ is a wrench in the engine. He just delayed Contractz so heavily with this invade from Poppy. It is going to mean a huge lead for Yuuji. CoreJJ is helping out their new jungler, and he's even going back to bottom lane to get a cleanse out of Bvoy.
Bvoy dropped down to 100 HP while Yuuji has been stealing away Contractz jungle the whole time.
Yeah, it's so crazy here because Contractz isn't going to have anywhere to go except back bottom for revenge. We'll see if Yuuji's able to cross the entire way because he was seen by that ward. So that's a critical top ward right there. And Yuuji's just going to stay efficient, and he's not going to path over to his red quadrant to defend because CoreJJ's got it covered.
He's a menace. He is a public menace for Shopify fans. CoreJJ is just completely halting Contractz' jungle progress.
He is halting the whole game, Flowers. CoreJJ is this game of League of Legends.
Look at all the wards. Look at all of the wards that Shopify have had to place down. Their side of the jungle looks like a Christmas tree at 3 minutes, and CoreJJ is coming down the chimney. He's not going to allow Contractz to take this buff without a battle. Finally, the blue buff secured. CoreJJ.
CoreJJ is a support, a jungle, a mid lane, an assassin, a tank, a mage, a miracle worker, because they put Yuuji in, and we had all his graphics, prepared for Yuuji, hype him up, and all about his history, and he's a 2-time NACL MVP. But like CoreJJ stealing the spotlight, he's making Yuuji's job so easy here.
Yeah.
He got to start on Contractz' red quadrant, steal everything away, while CoreJJ made Contractz take 10 years to clear 2 camps.
That is just absolutely crazy. You saw the gold lead. It looks like Yuuji's already got a kill. He's 27 farm to 12. Contractz just had to stand around and wait for his chickens.
And this is the timeline of the history there for Yuuji. A lot of time with Fly Academy, Fly Challengers, plus Maryville, and now finds himself on Team Liquid with the GOAT support, I guess.
Yeah.
My favorite supporting style is when my support goes.
I love it. I hate playing against it, but CoreJJ is making sure that Yuuji's entry here to the Tier 1 stage is as comfortable as humanly possible. He is flying first class into the jungle on this one.
That's what you like to see from the veteran players, Flowers.
Yeah, you gotta just welcome him in, teach him the environment, show him the ropes, make sure the first one's a couple of softballs, right? And that's what he's tossing his jungler on this one.
It's actually really cool too, because with Pantheon, of course, your level 6 is a global, so you are going to be able to move that lead around the map. So when CoreJJ is like playing for jungle, he's playing for the whole team basically. Oh, goodness.
He's doing it again. He's going back. Contractz.
Also, CoreJJ still has his real flash, so he's actually quite safe in doing this.
Yeah, Contractz really wants to try to at least use the smite to secure the Gromp. He gets the Gromp. He survives the CoreJJ pressure for now.
But will he survive mentally from this onslaught of the Poppy?
I think that one might already be in play. Like, this is so frustrating to deal with because CoreJJ is just not letting Contractz breathe. When you think Xin Zhao, it's like we were talking about in draft, man. You think skirmishes. You think this guy's getting in the game early. He's putting on some pressure. But now it's Seos under pressure as Yeon and Core are going to force out the flash from the enemy support here, too.
Okay, so both flashes traded there for the supports. Of course, CoreJJ as well as Seos both have Hex Flash, but that is just so much pressure. It's kind of crazy. We could literally do this game by just doing CoreJJ's point of view the entire time. It could have been a pro view here. Dragon is now finally up, and bottom side of the map is just fully controlled by them. From the immense amount of pressure and all these invades. And here we go, the level 6 Pantheon already makes a pass towards mid, but Palafox has to ult away from just the seismic shove. Yuuji didn't even get in range there, but of course Yuuji is 2 levels above Contractz at the moment. And the bottom lane should be guaranteed Dragon, and since he's already cleared out that side of the map, Contractz has nowhere to go. Contractz on his Raptors will finally tick over to his level 5, but Yuuji will still retain a full level lead afterwards, plus getting the Dragon for TL.
And Contractz' opportunities to find something are even so much more limited too when you consider the fact Seoul doesn't have his flash to try to make an engage play to set it up bottom. In the mid lane, Palafox had to use his ulti to escape Yuuji's gank that didn't even require the Grand Starfall. The pressure's in the right places to make it so Contractz' difficult job just becomes more and more strained. We're only 7 minutes into the game and it's a 1,000 gold lead, plus that first dragon uncontested over to the side of TL. We will see how rapidly either side wants to switch their bot lane duos towards that top side of the map with the grubs spawning here in about 45 seconds.
I think it's just so hard for Contractz and Shopify to fight any of these early fights because he's been delayed for level 6 so long. I don't even, like, he can barely get it by 8 minutes, but usually should be 7 by then for sure.
Yeah, one camp.
And if CoreJJ just roams up there, then I think it's just so dangerous. We'll see about it though, because Rumble Teleport is actually used. Impacts wants to do a little bit of a tempo play here. He teleports to get to bottom lane even quicker to hard shove the wave and then have the free roaming time to be able to move over. Of course, Rumble, you don't have to roam quite as close because your ultimate has a very long cast range as well, and you can still have a big impact.
Plus, when you look at Fudge's TP, those teleport timers being desynced means that Impact's not going to get punished there. But let's see if Contractz ends up getting jumped. All of Shopify making sure that their boy can get this crab. Meanwhile, the grubs are uncontested. APA takes a huge chunk of damage there with a Void Seeker from Bvoy combining with Palafox's charm combo. And now, Shopify finally walking their way up into the top side of the river. But the first two grubs have already been claimed by Team Liquid and Yuuji, and the third one will be, again, no contest from Shopify. Both of the first two neutral objectives are TLs, free and clear.
Yeah, and I think they got CoreJJ's name stamped on them.
Yeah.
He just created such a big difference in this game, and they're still reaping the rewards of that difference. So we'll see if Shopify can come back from this. You have to claw your way back in. They don't want to fight while they're at the deficit, so they're trying to farm it back up, get it into a much more competitive area so they can actually fight, some of these team fights, or, actually find some picks like we were talking about from Champ Select with the Ahri, or maybe some tricky like Ryze Realm Warp plays. And some possibilities there. It's just going to be so much more difficult because Yuuji can always answer this comfy blanket of the Pantheon Global coming down to counter any one of your plays that you try and pull off as Shopify. If you try and get sneaky and go for a pick, you really have to make it fast because Pantheon Ultimate can come down very quickly.
I mean, we've been talking about CoreJJ helping build up this lead for Yuuji and set Contractz behind, but the even bigger lead is in the AD carry role. Yeon is up almost 30 farm over Bvoy as now Palafox goes after APA, but the Weaver's Wall just gets him out in a hurry, so Team Liquid's mid laner happy to just trade the ultis there back and forth as Impact continues the pressure onto Fudge, and CoreJJ wants to get involved in something that's not Contractz. Slam into the wall, equalizer over the top, Fudge with the flash out. Realm Warp looks for safety. He does get away. Is Yuuji going to go for the crazy YOLO Grand Starfall? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I didn't know. Sometimes you get a new guy on the stage. Sometimes he's looking to shoot from the hip a little bit.
Maybe if you give CoreJJ the controls to that, then he sends it in there. Because he's just nonstop plays. As you point out, when he was harassing Contractz, he also was revisiting back bottom lane, making plays on Seoul, making plays on Bvoy. Keeping up pressure there, then transfers it once again over to Fudge. Another flash burned there. No more for the Ryze, no more safety, no more Realm Warp, no more flash. And so he's constantly taking away playmaking tools from Shopify through CoreJJ's aggression.
And I mean, yeah, the score is still 0-0. None of these CoreJJ plays have actually resulted in a champion kill, but they don't need to. He's getting so much. He's denying so much. He's completely controlling the pace of the first 10 minutes of this game. It is less than 60 seconds until the next Drake spawns. Team Liquid with control over the mid lane right now, getting this wave ready to crash as Bvoy has to just try to scramble and defend against this. 20 minions left on the call for Yeon. Has way less of a time to go on that one than Bvoy does across the way, still sitting on more than 40 that he needs to pick up. as Contractz is hanging around up here near this top lane, wants to make sure that his mid laner doesn't get dove. As I feel like at this point, Seos is kind of just trying to figure out where CoreJJ is going to be and shut down this Team Liquid support machine.
And the problem is, he hasn't been able to shut it down even when he's there. He's trying to headbutt him away. He's trying to like survive, and he still has not been able to match. CoreJJ has just had full pressure. They both are going to be pretty low on experience, though, because of all this movement, you know, through the jungle and away from minions that are dying. But Seos is actually the first one to soak up that level 6. Don't think it's going to mean too much as Yuuji steals away some extra jungle camps here, pilfering some more from Contractz.
Well, we've also got a couple of big purchases. You can see Yuuji already has Sundering Sky completed, got that on his last back. Yeon just recalled to purchase the Collector. So fully completed items here on the 2 TL members with the biggest gold leads right before this second Drake is about to spawn. It's nearly a 2,000 gold lead for TL as a squad. The only big individual item lead that I'm seeing on the side of Shopify is at least you've got the Rod of Ages already completed for Fudge because Impact wanted to go for the fully completed Mercury Treads before going for the first big ticket item. So that's something, but it's not enough to do anything with. Not when CoreJJ is still hanging around here near this bottom lane tier 1 turret. And once again, Yuuji's just free to take the Drake. There's no contest. There's no resistance from Shopify whatsoever. First 3 neutral objectives, TL.
Yuuji got hired to play PvE the entire time, Flowers. CoreJJ is playing enough PvP for the entire team by himself.
Yuuji's playing Farm Simulator 2025, the jungle DLC.
Yeah, Core's like, all right, you take care of the busy work. You fill out the paperwork, you get all the objectives. I'm going to take care of
business.
All the business here. But yeah, it's also like this Yeon, you know, this Collector first Jhin. We kind of saw a little bit of this from FlyQuest when Masu played it in their series versus Cloud9, and they had really good early power with it. Of course, there are a lot of other differences in that game and in that series, but you know, it is definitely a very early spike. And very, very threatening because you can just pick people off from such long ranges with the TL squad here. Contractz and Seos are here for the counter this time.
Yeah, I don't even know if Shopify wins this 3v2. Contractz going in after APA, who has to flash defensively, but now Shopify Rebellion's got to be careful. CoreJJ is ready to keep on fighting. Weaver's Wall flies out. Seos is trapped. A bit more damage will at least force out the Unbreakable Will as Yeon opens the curtain call, and Seos has to try to dodge the shots. Fourth one flies out, but Palafox won't get clipped. Team Liquid still moving forward. It's 10 seconds past 14 minutes. That means the turret plates are down. Means this wave crashing into the turret with the 3 Void Grubs already secured for TL should mean first turret going their way.
Yeah, certainly looks like it. The snowball here continues. Fudge tries the Realm Warp away from the play on bottom side, and he does so successfully. So at least the cross map there does not work out. TL were about to make 2 successful plays on opposite sides of the map extremely quickly, and this has been a team that is so good in the early game. 6-0 so far when they are ahead at 14 minutes, tied in the league with, oh, what do you know, Cloud9 and FlyQuest there. But honestly, the scrim groups here, maybe some similarities, as we saw some similar factors from the previous series yesterday, but TL are snowballing very effectively already, and like you said, with no kills.
It's 0 kills on the board. I feel like maybe our stats guy Leo would be able to figure this out. They were at 3,500 gold after they got that first turret in terms of the lead. That has to be the biggest gold lead we've seen all year, and maybe even in a longer period of time than that, without any kills on the board. Team Liquid has just built this out of CoreJJ's blood, sweat, and tears, and just everything they've taken away from Shopify.
What's really funny is they also, until now, the objective bounties are turning off, but they also procced objective bounties with no kills. Is super duper crazy because it counts all the neutral objectives that they got, plus the gold lead they got through towers, through tower gold. They're going to increase that gold lead with this tower, so they might turn the objective bounties back on here, still with 0 kills, and controlling the entire Rift. Okay, Shopify, though, they do have Contractz up by the Rift Herald. This might be the first thing that they can get. Oh, they also have 1 flower.
Okay, so they have 1 flower petal. Yeah. That's more. Yeah! Yeah! let's
there
go.
we go.
All right. They're
one
on the
pedal
board.
at a time.
They're on the board. Okay.
Flowers, you win games, one pedal at a time. Oh, okay.
One pedal at a time, but immediately APA throws out the Weaver's Wall, and the Herald fight is not going to be easy. CoreJJ tackling in as Seoul takes a bunch of damage, and a very nice equalizer down over the top arrives from Impact as the curtain call opens and Contractz is stuck in the front line. Yeon's grabbing the first blood, and it's already 2 dead. We're in Shopify jerseys. Team Liquid wants even more as the seismic shove doesn't connect, and the first time Shopify fights for one of these neutral objectives, Team Liquid hits them right in the mouth.
Looking like domination, Flowers. It is looking like complete and utter domination on the Rift from Team Liquid, led by their captain, CoreJJ, but now really sealed in a team fight here. And Shopify are getting desperate because of how far they're falling behind. APA walls them off. And then you've got the bottom lane sectioned off here, so they force the flash out of Bvoy. Seoul has the ultimate, they're on the run, and CoreJJ lives through it all. The Poppy's able to survive on like 70 HP there, runs out through the rest of the team. The long range of the Jhin ult, the Rumble ultimates.
And back to live, we got another fight already as Seos is about to die. APA just firing off a couple more of these rocks, barely misses out on the kill.
My favorite thing about Alistar is Alistar with phase rush and how funny Alistar looks
around
when he's running away with the phase rush move speed.
He looks like a cartoon. He really does look silly.
It's actually trying to look like all fours, but
not quite.
Not quite. Definitely like the animations. Anyway, Shopify right back to it.
Right.
They're trying to fight their way out of it. They know they're in a hole.
Yeah, and it's going to take some industrial gear to climb out of this one, man. As Shopify, they've got the Drake down to about 5,000. Team Liquid just waiting for their moment to try and strike. APA goes for the seismic shove, but does not find Fudge. Rift Herald going to be summoned up, at least as a distraction. Yuuji leads the charge. Palafox has to try to run. Contractz already looking to create some space, but both solo laners on Shopify are at death's door. The Dragon's going to be overtaken. Yeon with a kill on Palafox. Beautiful shooting from the Team Liquid AD carry. Everybody on Shopify's dead. Team Liquid takes the Drake. Team Liquid takes everything. It's a 7-0 game with a 7,000, make it 8,000 gold lead.
I'm a believer in Spawn's belt now. Spawn showed up. Spawn showed up for today. He's back in town, and Team Liquid are smashing Shopify here. It's reminiscent of how hard FlyQuest won yesterday versus Cloud9. But again, at this point, they are so far ahead that these fights just look so easy. You saw they immediately went for the flash stun onto Palafox and equalizer, and then he was out of the fight. We're having fun here. APA's running over people with the Rift Herald.
Oh, hold on, Yuuji in some danger. Shopify might finally find themselves a kill, a shutdown for Bvoy. They will at least stop Team Liquid from staying on track for a perfect game. But when that's the only thing you can really claim for yourselves after 20 minutes of play, you know Shopify's in a rough spot.
Pick on the new guy, Flowers.
Yeah. They're like, all right, CoreJJ's held your hand long enough, buddy.
All right, Yuuji down, but Shopify are going to need more than that. Here they go. They know the only way to get more is to fight for it.
The only way out is in, but they're not going to get there with Steadfast Presence blocking the way. APA now in a little bit of danger as Bvoy wants to continue the chase. Team Liquid falling back with their squad of 3. Palafox wants APA, but he ain't going to find him. Impact arrives. The cavalry is here, and Contractz needs a little more damage. Finally, we'll take out CoreJJ, but Palafox and Bvoy have already died for it. Team Liquid looking for more. It's only Fudge and Seoul still standing on the Shopify roster, and Team Liquid will be happy with the trade.
Yeah, they will, because they've got the rest of the map open to them. Along with the kill trade, they also gain complete priority over Otacon here. So that thing should get picked up. A couple more flower petals. Of course, if you kill Otacon, it's just going to sweep all those things into your inventory anyway, so no need to spend any time auto-attacking those, and they will pick up the Otacon in the aftermath. Of course, they're still looking 2 minutes, 40 seconds ahead into the future towards the Cloud Soul. Shopify have clearly made the call, okay, let's just full send at every opportunity that we get. We are so far down.
I know what you can do.
Yeah, we have to full send at this point, but honestly, it's too late. Like, it's almost 10,000 gold lead here. Maybe they can pull out a miracle and extend this game. It's gonna have to be 2 minutes into the future here for this Dragon Soul fight, maybe they could find a pick beforehand would be the ideal situation, so you don't actually have to fight a full 5-on-5 because they're so heavily disadvantaged in a full 5-on-5 that you need something else to go your way earlier. It's just really hard because look at the vision coverage from Team Liquid. The top side fully lit up, so the hope for Shopify is to make a bottom side vision surprise play in advance of the arrival of the Dragon Soul, so that then they can start to like compound some small victories into a bigger one.
So before the Otacon was taken, the flower count was 5-5. Now hold on, nice potential play here from Shopify. Need more damage to finish off APA, and Contractz is there to provide. Now with a Realm Warp coming in from Fudge, Shopify may have found their angle. Yuuji's in some danger now with no Pantheon shield left. He'll get picked as Palafox wants to flash in for the charm, but he can't land it, and impacts on a killing spree with a nicely timed equalizer. Fudge trying to keep the Team Liquid top laner away and at bay as Yeon continues moving forward. Contractz stuck inside the pit, gonna get cooked up by impact as Yeon is just blasting these guys. Fudge and Seoul's gotta run, and right when it looks like Shopify might have found one last shining light in the darkness, Team Liquid puts it out. Triple kill Yeon.
Sometimes it is really hard to control and throttle your comeback because they made the ideal bottom side vision surprise play, Flowers. Right here, they're going to be able to get a couple of kills. At the moment that you start to get kills, though, your mind is thinking, is this the best opportunity to push the advantage of a couple of kills and members of TL being down to try and get more? Or when do we need to call this off and take our victory already? Right there was when they stepped a little bit too far, overextending into the rest of the team, you know, flashing for it for the extra charm. In hindsight, you look back and you're like, okay, we needed to call it off at just the original victory and basically take our profits at that point. But it is really easy to feel for them and kind of get into that mentality of, ooh, we are starting to come back.
Oh, hold on. Already the next fight is started up as Contractz in the middle of everybody creates some space, but Yeon is just way too strong. Impact's got to try to get back.
Another
but Shopify making a 1-for-1 trade here with the start. Bvoy's about to drop, and the Comet Spear from Yuuji seals his fate as a double kill for Yeon hits Palafox. Yuuji's ready to rejoin the fight as the curtain call opens up. Seo's, he dodges the first 2 bullets, he dodges the third, but the 4th shot gets it done. Shopify lose 4 out of 5. It's only Fudge alive, and Team Liquid continue to run the rift. They've got that next Drake alive. That one's getting picked up once again for free, and that'll be Dragon Soul for TL.
Yep, they finally claim that. All right, now with all the extra move speed, the map, it becomes very, very difficult to spread and to play for Shopify. Cloud Soul just cuts off so many of your options with all the mobility it gives to Team Liquid, and it makes it so easy to use a big gold lead because of that. So there we go.
All right.
Okay,
We're chilling.
you gotta count those small things, Flowers.
Yeah, we're
Every little baby step in the comeback.
yeah. Well,
Every little brick on the road.
the problem with the bricks in that road, Kobe, is Yeon almost has twice as many kills as the entirety of Shopify put together. He's 11-0-6 here on the Jhin. He's 5,000 gold ahead of his lane opponent. And now CoreJJ and Impact have found another one. There's burgers on the grill, and they look like Seos. Team Liquid with a 5v4, 25 minutes into the game. Baron just spawned, and he's about to go lights out.
Huh. I've heard of that where you use like the really hot rocks to cook things.
Oh,
They had the flame spitter on top of the Taliyah rocks.
Yeah,
right
it's a
there.
nice combo.
Yeah.
It works out pretty well.
All
unless you're
natural.
Seos, then you're not happy with it.
No.
He is not looking to go to that restaurant, as we've got the Baron secured. 25 minutes, 30 seconds into the game for TL, pushing that gold lead up to 12,500. I think in yesterday's FlyQuest C9 series, the peak gold lead was like 18K. I think TL are trying to chase that.
It's kind of crazy that we're even considering, like, will this be as much of a stomp as that, FlyQuest Cloud9 series already? Shopify, though, they have been able to fight some kills back for themselves, so you know, they're scrapping a little bit. It's just that they're so far behind. The base basically melts in front of them.
Yeah, this is quite the performance here from Team Liquid as Shopify Rebellion cannot hold their tier 3 turret here in the top lane. That inhibitor is going to fall right after. The Baroned up minions will guarantee it. 2 more shots, I think, from that cannon, or maybe just the little guys will get it done there. It goes. Inhibitor down in top lane. 13,000 gold lead for TL as Shopify are trying to scramble and defend these remaining 2 lanes. Luckily, the bottom lane is all the way down at the TL tier 2 turret, so they don't have to worry about that one right now. But that was one auto attack from Yeon. Now Palafox nearly just burns away to the equalizer. Luckily, did not have to use the ult or the flash to escape there. But with him so critically injured, TL know that there's no way for Shopify to defend. They're going to force down the second lane of super minions to spawn with that inhibitor eliminated. And now it's just the bottom lane, Kobe, and Team Liquid is looking clean.
They certainly are. I feel like them and FlyQuest really focused on early games in the last week of scrims, because they certainly are able to snowball very effectively here. And especially, you know, both of them using the Jhin. It's actually up to a shield bow now, too, for Yeon. So since he's so far ahead, he's even getting some extra survivability on top of all the damage that he already had. He was spiking so hard. I'm becoming a very big fan of this Collector and IE build. You know, of course, we have the rapid fire in there, but APA is back out again.
Oh no, they're going after Seos once more. That Alistar tries to escape, but he knows he's just dead, and now the steadfast presence stops Bvoy in his tracks. The bottom lane of Shopify Rebellion eliminated as TL just secure their position with the minion wave. Get ready to push down this last inhibitor that's still standing on the Shopify side. It's a 5v3 for the next 20 seconds, and TL have a 13,000 gold lead to just force the end of the game on those numbers. Fudge, Palafox, and Contractz are going to need more than a miracle here as Yuuji just immediately jumps forward. Palafox is taken out. Contractz wants to use his ulti to make some space, but it's not going to work. Impact takes him out of the picture as Fudge drops the Realm Warp. CoreJJ tackles him right back out of it, and Team Liquid is looking to farm a couple of fantasy points before this one ends. Those turrets are going to die just to the minions. Seos and Bvoy are back alive, but for how long? Bvoy and Seos just trying to dodge the shots. Team Liquid slams game 1.